So we continue now with part 2. And Kenneth, would you please say something about this directness?
Um, it's just energetic, so I can't say anything about it really. I mean, what I guess what I would say is when there's a meeting and there seems to be questions, usually what I'd say at the beginning of the meeting, not always, but I'd usually say, listen, if there's a question, it's just there to be asked. It doesn't matter. The context to that question does not matter. And some people often say, oh, maybe this is a silly question. And it's like, there are no silly questions. And there are no terribly insightful, clever questions either, really. So it's just energetic. So there's a question, there seems to be an answer. And then there's this boundlessness when there is this sharing, is how I describe it, and there can be an openness to that then, and then
Yeah.
that's just a resonance with that everything is nothing, nothing is everything, and this direct immediate isness in that sense of being a me, and this it can just not be, it may not be there, and it can be very, very obvious there's no separate me. But
Yes.
there you go. Like that's the way it is. There's never been a sense since I first started talking that I could say anything in any way, describe it at all. That's why I never really got hung up on words or language. And it always felt energetic. And that's the way
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, I can't, it's just, that's the way, it's
It's
too
just how
obvious
the
is the
cookie
problem.
crumbles.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just obvious, but the thing is, there is an illumination though. There is this illumination that uh, you know
It's
um
inescapable,
yeah.
no matter what.
yeah,
Mm.
and when we talk about this, because it seems, for some people that they really have this lived sense of being inside, or in the head or in the body or whatever, but that's just simply what seems to be happening then. Feeling like I'm inside, looking out, or I'm in this body is just, there's already no one.
Yeah, there's already no one. That's fine to say there's already no one, but for me there is an illumination. Like the
Yeah.
illumination is this energetic, clear illumination. Like if you're just continually telling someone, don't worry about it, all there is individuality, all there is wholeness. It's like Parsons used to say, it's like telling a blind person, all there is sight, don't worry about it.
Oh,
It
well,
doesn't, what I'm saying is there is a huge yearning from feeling separate, and
yes.
that's addressed in a clear communication then,
Yes.
whilst at the same time communicating clearly there is no separate you.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Because it
Yeah.
can be heard, well, something needs to happen, I need to feel not separate.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone will come with a different I need this and I need that.
Yes, yeah, I
But there's
mean, it
no
can be
when it's a clear
objectified.
communication, there's it doesn't matter
No,
because the individual isn't being spoken to anyway. So it doesn't matter what the individual thinks they come with.
no.
And it's just shared, and like this can the sense of being an individual can fall away, and there could be complete confusion about what's been said,
Yes,
and it could
exactly.
just be very obvious. Here's just what's appearing to happen.
Yes,
So yeah, that was the other part of what I was going to say. The there, because there is there's no individual scene, there's also no sense that anything can be said to affect the sense of being separate. So there's just, that's what's appearing to happen for
yes,
people, but because there's no separate individual scene here, so there's no sense that any of the words can have any kind of, it's a total mystery. I have no idea.
you had no idea.
How could
Yes,
anyone have any idea? They're just all they it's just a suggestion.
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's also it's just a suggestion simply arising. It's just
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I think that an element of it is the clarity too, that we're so bombarded with nonsense about us having a life, and continually fed this narrative about you have choice, and if you do this and you do that and da 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 da.
Yeah.
The clarity of this is like a breath of fresh air then, when you know,
Totally.
someone could appear to fall away, and their sense of separateness could maybe not be there, or they could be in and out maybe. But when
Yes.
there's not this clarity, like this sense of a me that still appears to be kind of running over things, seems to still be pulled in then by, something they're hearing. Oh, you had a satori, or you had an awakening, and
Yeah.
so they can be kind of drawn into these things then. Whereas when it's a clear communication, there it is that clarity too. It's
Yes.
such a clear, direct illumination that there's no separate you, and done in that format where you can ask whatever you want. If
Yes.
there's a question about this, just ask it. And maybe there'll be whatever, it might illuminate, it might not, but and then it's all energetic.
Yes.
So that's how I see that sharing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hey, and I'm wondering, have you things coming up? Books maybe, or meetings you want to
Yeah,
share?
I've kind of started writing again, and
Oh, cool.
doing a little bit of writing. So it's just kind of ridiculous at this stage that I don't have the book ready, because I'd have about 10 of them written at this stage. So hopefully that'll be done in the next few months. Just something very simple, kind of laying out what I'm talking about, and maybe some transcripts of some of the meetings. And I'm pretty much looking at being booked up then for the rest of the year. Really, I'm in England 2 weeks time, then I'm in Dublin in February, then I'm in London in March. I think I'm in America in April, Munich in May. I have a retreat in June in the Black Forest in Germany.
Der
Probably,
Schwarzwald.
yeah. And back maybe to Brussels in July. I'd love to get back to Brussels with a great meeting in Brussels in December. And then probably something here, and then going to Vietnam in October.
Oh, cool.
Trying to think, there's somewhere else I'm trying to get. I would like to get out to Spain. And there's someone out there who has nice accommodation, and I might take them up on that as well. So yeah, it's busy apparently.
Beautiful, Kenneth.
Lots of
And
meetings. Yeah.
everything is on your website, and you can also one can subscribe your mail. You send mails with all those
Yeah, the best thing
information.
is to be on the mailing list, because I'm
Yeah, yeah.
not great at the website. It can go
Okay.
unupdated for a while,
Mailing
but
list. Okay.
yeah, the meetings would definitely be up there, and links to most meetings you can join virtually as well. Yeah, and that's it. That's the plug, really. The meetings are there. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube. There's Patreon as well, where
Yeah.
I
Yes.
do the put the meetings up. But I mean, like, whatever, like, there's nothing to get. If you want to join any of these things, it's fine, but it's not, there's nothing exclusive in them. Or actually, the Patreon is more for people who like to join lots of Zoom meetings. It's kind of a cheaper way. They
Yeah.
can just pay by the month or whatever. But yeah, some more video content on there. But really, for me, it's just very simple. It's all about the meeting, really. I don't care about books at all, really. I love to read and everything, but for me, it's the direct sharing with people,
Yes.
where there's someone can ask a question. You know, uh, when you go to one of these meetings, you're not seen as an individual. It's you are unconditional love, because you are nothing being appearing as this body.
Yes.
So they're the most amazing gatherings, really. They just blow my mind. Not that I have one, but they always just amaze me. As much now as the first person I ever heard was Tony Parsons in about 2007 or 8 or something. I just couldn't. It was astounding to me that
Yeah.
there was nothing expected of any. You could go there and not say one single word for 4 hours, and that's fine. You don't have to introduce yourself. You don't have to say anything. And you could go there and ask question after question after question because you really, they're bubbling up out of you. And it's
Yeah.
just the most amazing. It was so different to anything I'd ever seen or experienced. All these meetings where you're set out the agenda, and this is what, like, the ones that I particularly disliked were the ones where you go to and they do a whip round and ask, what do you hope to get from today?
Yeah.
And I just say, give me, if someone got a fucking gun and just give it to me now, and I'll just end this. I just torture, hated all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just think it's just stunning. It's nothing to do with anyone. There's no authority. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sharing that is just heard as it's heard, and it's most alive in that sharing with people. I
Yeah,
feel
beautiful.
and some people get a taste of that then from kind of joining virtually maybe as well, I think.
Totally, Kenneth. This is so you see there this in loveness with like sharing this, you know. This is
Yeah.
full beautiful, and this is so unseen, like you know, it just kind of draws into this because it's just
it's
simple
stunning.
and direct.
Yeah, it's simple, it's direct, it cannot be described. It's totally ordinary,
Yeah.
and yet it's absolutely stunning.
It's just this.
And it's
You
just
know,
this also, and that's what I always say. Like, I usually conclude the meeting by saying, you do know there was no meeting. Like, and that's often when it drops, like when the sense of me isn't there, it's just obvious, like it's inescapable. It
yes.
wasn't about this meeting or this character who was talking. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever's going to happen.
Yes.
And then that's it. Then you don't, and whatever appears to happen. Maybe that's going to another meeting. Maybe that's never going to a meeting again. Doesn't matter.
Just
Yeah, it's
like this,
gorgeous.
you know, talking with Kenneth, Rosa,
Yeah.
just what seems ordinary. And at the same
It's
time,
very ordinary, of course. Yeah. That's it. That's why, like, what is being sought appears to hide by already being everything, of
this,
course.
yes,
So
by
it's
talking.
totally, I couldn't be more ordinary.
This is
by
the
talking.
wow.
You know, and this is, I mean, it's nothing and it's everything, you know, it's talking, it's sitting, it's listening, it's laughing, it's whatever seems to happen. Just this, you know, it's so ordinary, it's so direct, it's just saying it's just this is already this.
Yeah.
Kenneth, in one of your recordings, you were kind of telling the story when you were in the meeting of Tony.
Yeah.
And then it was like you were kind of very explosive while you were telling the story. This was very funny here. I was just laughing. It was like you said, well, Tony said, actually what he said was, here is nothing to get. Like, you know, I don't know exactly the words. And you were just like standing up and telling this to the people, hey, don't you get it? Here is nothing to get. Or,
Oh, I
know.
think I remember what that was. What it was he kept saying, I don't have anything that you don't have.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything that you don't know. And he kept saying it over and over and over. And the questions, whatever quality to the questions were, like almost every question was that he was some sort of authority. Yeah. And what for me was, I just kept looking back going, did you not fucking hear what he like? You're not listening to him. It was amazing. Yeah, it was so gorgeous. It was unconditional love. Like I went to a meeting, and whatever age Tony was then, it doesn't matter. And this gentleman in front of me, and it was complete unconditional love. I was like, this is, I mean, I was just stunning, absolutely stunning, completely stunning. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way. Yeah, it's and you know, whatever. I think I remember that story, but I think the point of that story was not so much like that I wanted them to. I can't remember what was appearing to go on. For maybe I felt like an individual, maybe I didn't. But just that, I guess the point of it was that he was saying it so clearly and so ordinarily, and it just wasn't.
And this
hearing what he was saying.
when I
Yeah.
heard you saying this story, you know, this was like you
Yeah.
directly. Yeah, sure. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
boom.
You could talk about them each, the open secret. I used to always just say the open secret because, you know, there is no Tony, and it's but it's such a beautiful. I mean, you could talk about it all day, but yeah, it's clear. It's a clear communication for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no Tony, there's no Kenneth.
There's
It's
no
just
Kenneth. There's nobody. There's no,
nobody.
you know. And that's why some people, when they come on and they want to talk about speakers, I kind of get bored very quickly because I don't want to talk about what this guy said or this lady said, because and some of the people they mentioned, I feel really good, like really good, very clear, everything. Because there's quite a few now that seem to be clear and uncompromising, however many, I don't know. But for me, it's very it's almost secondhand immediately. Oh, this person said this, and it's like, first of all, I don't know the context in which they said that. I wasn't there. Can we not just talk about this, like this, just aliveness, this, just talk about this? We don't have to talk about some character, who, no matter what their name is, you know. So generally, that's why I keep it. Yeah, for me, it's just very simple, and it's also a total mystery to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about as well, in another sense. And if I did know what I was talking about, it would be a different communication.
Exactly.
Like, obviously, I could intellectually tell you about non-duality. You know, I've been around it for long enough, but it doesn't come from knowing. It's just a sharing, and there's talking, and there seems to be whatever, and it's stunning. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
You know, it's so ordinary, and at the same time, it's, you know, who knows this? Who knows this?
Yeah, it's totally unknowable. If once you get that from some speakers, I feel they're coming from, again, it's not right or wrong, obviously, but there seems to be that they know it, and then energetically, for me, it's completely not there at all. The words can be totally perfect, and it's just yeah, and that's the way it is. And maybe it won't be like that again. Maybe, I have no idea, but
Who knows?
it's just, for me, it kind of comes from knowing a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what appears to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Exactly. Yeah, I like it. Well, what to say, Kenneth?
Yeah, nothing to say. Never have anything to say, really, except, you know, they're speaking appears to happen, and that's the beautiful thing is the no talking sometimes is so gorgeous, especially especially in a room with people, because it's just, I mean, often people afterwards would say to me, it was more when there was nothing said.
Yes.
Actually, it was more when there was nothing being said that it resonated even more.
Yes.
I mean, that is just gorgeous, because it's as much in when there's nothing being said as when there's words. Obviously it is, because
it's everything.
Words are just whatever.
Yeah.
And the silent, you know, and then some people they can feel very uncomfortable because they live in knowing, and they want to be given a heads up that we're not going to talk for 20 minutes. So they'd want to know that. So that's why, if you went to a meeting that was more spiritual, it would do that at the beginning. We're going to do 10 minutes of silence here, and everyone is so comfortable with that, because they now know what's happening.
Yes.
So, but when it's just not speaking for 20 minutes or 40 minutes or an hour or whatever, it doesn't matter, who knows, energetically, that can be very confronting.
Yes.
Totally.
Why isn't anybody talking? I wasn't told this was going to be it. And obviously that sense of being confronted is unconditional love. It's just what's being to happen.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So that's all I can think of to say about the meetings, because I don't know.
It's beautiful. I also joined some of your meetings. Lovely atmosphere. Totally cool. Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And the silence, you know, I mean, there's no plan. like this, there's no plan for this conversation to be, and speaking may happen and silence may happen. It's just this.
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, there's no Kenneth making a plan, right? To, well, I'm
Yeah, I've
going
never like, and
to,
that's the difference when you hear that there's an organic kind ofness to it's just different. Where it's just energetically people sense it when it's without agenda and it's clear.
yes.
And that's generally it's often the one that's less popular too, because people are drawn much more to the teacher.
Yes, this we're going to do till 10 o'clock. We do this, and then we have a break, and then
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
again. You know,
Yeah.
great.
Oh, beautiful. Zonderlintje, is there something popping up? Question
Oh
or
no, no, there was just, I only can say there was this longing, to
yeah,
talk with Kenneth,
beautiful.
simply rising, so to say. I mean,
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for
it's
the
No, it's nice
time.
to speak to you guys, and it's nice not to have to do any foostering with Zoom, right? That's what I like when someone interviews or talks like this. It's like, okay, you do everything now.
Pleasure.
I'm not doing any Zoom stuff now.
Pleasure. Kenneth,
That's the only
pleasure.
thing.
I
But it
love
was nice
doing
to
it.
talk to you guys. Yeah, no, it's nice to. It's always like it's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. So
I,
then,
I want to say thank you, Kenneth.
thank you.
There's a lot going on. Apparently, there are meetings and all these types of things, and so I want to say thank you, and yeah,
And good
let's see
night.
what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see
Thanks,
what
guys.
happens.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, Sander and Rosa, and sure, free fall. We'll see what appears to happen.
Yeah, great. Free fall. Love it.
Who knows?
Bye bye. Ciao.
See you guys.
See ya.